What's up guys, Blade Master here, going to be bringing you round 1 game 1 between Silverwind and Warner 95 in the UNBAN Alpha tournament. This is going to be pretty interesting because of course it's fought in a different map. No, just kidding, this is of course fought in Kariskos. Great. But it is going to be interesting because of the one special addition to the regular UNBAN rules that we've seen in UNBAN EX. So Warner was at the top of the bracket. He decided to pick Burgundians, which is interesting because Burgundians can very easily be sterilized, digitally castrated, handicapped, whatever you would want to call it, by the two bans that they can get. If you ban Burgundian Axemen and Royal Lancers, there's just really very little that they can do. And Silverwind has picked the Huns, who also can be very severely handicapped by two bans, either the Noble Steppe Cataphracts and one of the UR Warriors, or both the types of UR Warriors can severely handicap them. That said, they have a much bigger edge over the Burgundians, especially only if you're talking about those two units being banned, because they just have more variety. They've got Bosphorian Infantry, which are a much higher quality unit than, say, Noble Germanic Swordsmen for the Burgundians. And they also have much better cavalry in the Hunnic Lancers and stuff. There are no Noble Steppe Cataphracts, but they can still do the job because they still have 20 bonus versus cavalry. So I think, yeah, Huns are definitely a better, more stronger choice than the Burgundians. So Silverwind was at the bottom of the bracket. So he, after picking the Huns, he decided to ban Burgundian Axemen and the Royal Lancers. But what do we see right here? We see the Burgundian Axemen. And why is that? That's because Warner actually used a card. So there are 3 cards. In case you guys didn't know, it's a special thing that I've added to the UNBAN Alpha. Each player gets 3 cards, 3 get out of jail free cards basically, that they can use anytime in the tournament. They can only be used once. You can't use both cards per match. I believe so. But you can only use, so in this case, a card has been used to unban a unit. So that means if Warner wins this... Oh, what the fuck? Sorry, I hope that didn't mess up recording. This game just went back to desktop for some reason. So if we were talking about cards, right? So you get 3 cards. You can each card unbans 1 unit, and you can only you have to use it incredibly wisely because you only get this. It's a very powerful tool, and you can only use it 3 times in the entire tournament. So if Warner wins this round, he wins his set of matches against Silverwind, proceeds on to round 2. He can only use 2 more cards. Now he's used Burgundian. He's used a card to remove to unban the Burgundian Axemen. So he does have access to Burgundian Axemen. He doesn't have access to Royal Lancers though. Whereas Silverwind has chosen not to use any cards. So Silverwind has had Noble Steppe Cataphracts and UR Warriors banned for him. Whereas essentially now, Silverwind has only been able to ban Royal Lancers for the Burgundians, which is still a pretty significant handicap. But the double-handed axes are just so cost-effective that it is a big boost for the Burgundians' chances of winning this game. With that being said, let's take a look at the 2 armies. 4-step bows for the Huns and for Silverwind. 3-step tribespeople in the center, forming the front line. He's got a total of 4 Hunnic Lancers, an elite Hunnic Lancer, and a Steppe Warlord General with 3 experience upgrades. He's also brought a total of 4 chosen UR Warriors and 3 Bosphorian Infantry with single silver. I like bringing Bosphorian Infantry with single silver. They are incredibly tanky, incredibly well armored, don't have the greatest morale, and then with the single silver they do have that boost to morale and their low melee attack in vanilla. So I think these are perfect units to be upgraded. I think Warner kind of made a slight mistake in banning the URs instead of the chosen URs, because if you're going to ban the chosen URs, you would only be faced up against 4 regular URs who themselves have a pretty significant weakness in their lack of morale. So if you do manage to snipe off the enemy general, the Hunnic general, the URs are very prone to routing. And at the end of the day, you can only bring 4 of them. So I would much rather face up against 4 regular URs and then the set of Hunnic Lancers rather than 4 chosen wars. So he basically granted Silverwind a pretty big gift there. As we can see, he's charging in with his Germanic Lancers here. He's only brought one Germanic Lancer and he's brought 4 Barb Lancers. If there was one cavalry unit in this contingent that I would use for these ballsy charges, it would probably be the Germanic Lancers rather than the 4 Barb Lancers, who are 100 talents more expensive. I'm quite surprised he decided to bring Barb Lancers, as this one Barb Lancer gets caught in its own Slinger unit and then gets a very piss poor charge against these Steppe tribespeople who were earlier engaging that Scattershot hurler. The Steppe tribespeople, because they're light, they still take a lot of damage, but it wasn't optimal, that's for sure. He's brought 3, so let's take a look at the Burgundian build. 3 Noble Germanic Swordsmen, 4 Scattershot hurlers, 1 Germanic Archer. This Germanic Lancer just tried to get in for another ballsy charge, got charged at by, I think, Steppe bows, and I'm sure something got a lot of kills on them. Not sure whom, but they're down to 49 men. He's got one Germanic Lancer and 4 Barb Lancers, and he's brought a total of 4 Burgundian Axemen, each with a single silver. He's brought 2 Germanic Spearmasters and 1 Royal Burgundian General with 3 experience upgrades. This Germanic Lancer has gotten destroyed, but then the Barb Lancer over here is going to come in and kind of wreck this Honey Lancer, but it's gotten caught in its own sort of unit, so it's not the perfect charge. And then the Steppe tribespeople over here are going to get a lot of kills on these guys. And the Barb Lancer are also going to suffer from significant friendly fire from the Steppe from Scattershot hurlers. Here, Germanic Archers, 250 talents down the drain. Do serve as a meat shield though, and these Hunnic Lances, they do pull back. Very smartly done by Silverwind. Didn't immediately engage these Noble Germanic Swordsmen. He's going to wait, and this is perfect. Because see, these Noble Germanic Swordsmen, they're going to charge in. They are in a very loose formation, and that means these Barb Lancers who are also engaging with them do get charged at by the Hunnic Lances. You can see the Barb Lancers have taken significant casualties, and then the Noble Germanic Swordsmen have also taken significant casualties there. Very well done by Silverwind. Here, the Hunnic Lancer, again, he's doing the same thing. His Barb Lancers are going to get 10 kills, but then they are going to be stuck in melee against a mix of Bosphorian infantry and just much closer infantry support than his Burgundian Axemen. Here, Germanic Spearmasters about to get rear charged by elite Hunnic Lancers. Germanic Spearmasters are only heavy, they're not very heavy, which means that they will take a lot more casualties to a rear charge, which is strange because they should at least be very heavy. Not really sure why they have such shit mass here. This is by it. The Royal Burgundian General got a clean charge on Steppe Warlord, and then Germanic Spearmasters are going to support along with Burgundian Axemen. So this Steppe Warlord is so fucking dead. Like, it is unbelievable how quickly this unit is going to die. 30 bonus versus cavalry. These are some really deadly units against enemy cavalry. Steppe Warlord already down to 20 men. Or sorry, down to 40. But then Chosen Wars are going to come in, get a flank charge on Burgundian Axemen, and this blob is actually going to be pretty delicious to the Chosen Wars. Here, Wars mopping up the flank. The Chosen Wars have got a single experience upgrade. The Steppe tribespeople getting 31 kills on pretty expensive cavalry, 600 talent cavalry. And then this Hunnic Lancer about to get a beautiful rear charge on a mix of Germanic Spearmasters who have gotten a single experience upgrade, destroying a lot of these elite Hunnic Lancers. And of course the general is dead for the Huns, no surprise there. And that means some of these elite Hunnic Lancers are going to rout at 23 men, going to shatter and rout. And Steppe tribespeople have also routed, Bosphorian infantry have also routed, but here is the problem. The UR warriors are going to be fine because they have unbreakable morale basically, and that's why banning the URs was not such a great idea. If he had banned URs, if he had banned Chosen URs, the UR warriors would have been so wavering by now. And especially with the fear effects of the Burgundian Axemen, the wars would have very likely routed. So yeah, that's the big problem now. We have Chosen Wars who just don't give a shit, who are on frenzy, who are going to destroy these Germanic Spearmasters. We have one Steppe tribespeople who for some reason is shaken while the Bosphorian infantry have fled the field. This Hunnic Lancer is wavering because the general is dead. Chosen Wars, they're going to kill off this Royal Burgundian general, and I can see why this Germanic Spearmasters were brought. And he's done well with them for the most part, but they're just so incredibly expensive that I don't know why they were brought in the first place, and I don't know why the Barb Lancers were brought, not Noble Germanic Noble Germanic Horsemen. He could have... See, I think the problem that Warner faced here was that he just didn't have... He didn't know where to spend his money, and the reason why he didn't know where to spend his money is because he just decided to go with a cavalry line of Barb Lancers instead of Noble Germanic Horsemen. So he just didn't have... he didn't have good, expensive cavalry,
And of course, the infantry support for Burgundians is very cost effective, but it's very cheap. So then, when you're banning an expensive unit like Royal Lancers, Burgundians just don't know what to do. And I think that's why the Germanic Spearmasters were brought. And oh, sorry about that, guys. I need to get some screenshots. And pretty quickly, that screenshot was a fail. Yeah, I think it was. Well, see, this is the problem now. The card was used by Warner, and he still hasn't won this game. Maybe should have just used the card to get the Royal Lancers, because then the Royal Lancers against the Hunnic Lancers would just destroy them. But honestly, more importantly than using a card, he should have just banned the Chosen Wars instead of the Wars, and the Noble Steppe Cataphracts. Would have been a very good set of bans. But then the Chosen Wars, see, he did a good job in killing off the general, but then the Chosen Wars just didn't give a shit. And that's essentially how Silverwind has won this game. Even though he kind of wasted his general. Well, basically wasted his general. And yeah, so good game. Nice little blitzkrieg of a first game. Let's see if things take a turn for the weirder in game 2. And possibly game 3. So you guys stay tuned. Peace.